Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Ali and I love to talk about all things makeup and skincare here on my channel. And today I'm doing a full face of Charlotte Tilbury. Now I am a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan. I just think I'm really drawn to the brand. I think the products are beautiful. I think the packaging is beautiful. I think the entire aesthetic of the brand is beautiful. So I do have quite a few of their products. I don't have every single product though. I just don't have that kind of budget, but I have enough here to do a full face. So I'm going to talk you through how I got this look here using all Charlotte Tilbury products. I'm going to be talking you through what products are worth the luxury price tag and what products you can maybe skip on. So without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Okay, so I've already prepped my skin with all its skincare, and I'll make sure to list in the description box down below what I used. But I'm going to start off this look using one of my all-time favorite Charlotte Tilbury products, which is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. You can see I've almost finished this little bottle of it. I use it pretty much every single time I do my makeup. I love using it as a primer underneath my foundation, so that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So I have it in the shade Too Light. And that one's good for me because I can use it all over my face. I can use it when I'm a bit more pale, and I can also use it when I have a bit more of a tan as well. And yeah, it's a really nice highlighting color because if I do use it over top of my foundation as an actual liquid highlighter, it will look really nice and natural as well. But they have a ton of different shades you can choose from. And I'm just blending that in, by the way, with an e.l.f. small stipple brush. So you can see the gorgeous finish that left my skin. It's just really nice and natural, really gives you that lit from within look. It doesn't look chunky or glittery. It's just really nice and flattering on the skin. It's a great product to use every day because it has just a little touch of coverage. So for an everyday, quick and easy 5-minute makeup look, you can just chuck this on, add some concealer, blush, mascara, and go right out the door. So for my foundation today, I'm going to use one which is one of my absolute personal favorites, and that is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I have it in the shade 5.5 Neutral, and I love this foundation. A lot of people don't get along with it, and I think it's because it's quite full coverage, it's quite matte, but for me, I really like it. It's one of the foundations that I turn to for events or for when I know my makeup needs to last over 12 hours, because it's one of those foundations that just looks better the longer you wear it. It really fuses in with your skin and looks really nice and natural. So I'm just going to take maybe that much of it and just dot that all over my face. You don't need a whole lot because it is quite full coverage. And I'm just going to blend that in with a dampened beauty blender. And you can see immediately that coverage is so good, but you can also sheer this foundation out. I really like mixing it in with the Flawless Filter as well if I do just want to wear it a bit more naturally for every day, because I get that coverage that I like, but I also get that nice glow as well. And if you guys don't know, I actually work at Sephora, and Sephora in Australia, they don't sell Charlotte Tilbury. And I always wear this foundation to work, and I know I shouldn't, but every time I get stopped by a customer and they ask me what my foundation is, I always panic and I'm oh, it's double wear. I feel so bad because I just love this foundation and I can't stop using it. But yeah, we don't sell it in Australia in stores yet, so I just have to do a cheeky little white lie. So for concealer today, I'm going to use the Magic Away Liquid Concealer. This is one of the products that is newer to me, so I've just been playing around with it for the past few weeks. And right off the bat, I think I really like the formula of it, but the packaging I just can't get over. It's just, the cap is really hard to remove, and I just don't like how it has that sponge applicator. I find that this formula is really thick, not in a bad way, but it's just a thicker liquid, and it just is really hard to twist up and get out of the actual tip. So yeah, while I really like the actual product, the packaging could definitely use some work. I'm using it in the shade 4 here, which you can see is just that little bit brighter than my foundation color, so I can get a nice highlighted look under the eyes. I'm just patting that in with a dampened beauty blender. So I just realized that I forgot to pop on my color corrector, the Magic Vanish, which I use every single day without fail because I love it. So it's a bit ironic that I forgot to pop it on today, but I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of it now and just hopefully it works over top of my concealer and foundation. Okay, that's looking a little bit too orange now. Sorry, this is a complete fail for me. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more concealer and hopefully it just blends out and we can pretend that this never happened. Okay, so that actually doesn't look too bad now. I'm happy with how that's looking. I think my dark circles are properly nice and concealed now, but I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that concealer and just put it on my forehead, down my nose, and on my chin. And I have this little blemish here, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit on that as well and still just blend it out with my beauty blender. Now to set my foundation and concealer in place, I'm going to use one of my all-time favorite Charlotte Tilbury products, and that is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Micro Powder. This is a beautiful, beautiful pressed powder. You can see I have used it to death. It's almost done. I have seriously hit pan with this one. I've had it for a couple years now, and even though I don't use it every single day, because I do have a lot of powders in my collection, this is just one that I turn to constantly. So I'm actually surprised that I haven't finished it up completely, to be honest. But I'm just going to use a Sonia G Designer Pro, which is a really nice brush for precision powdering. And I'm just going to powder the places where I put concealer and leave the rest of my skin, you know, without powder. I don't want it to be too matte for the rest of my skin. I am going to put on some cream products as well. So I just want to only set where I need to set, but this is a beautiful powder because it's really nice and blurring. It's great if you have like larger pores on your cheeks because it just sort of smooths out any texture you have there. And yeah, it just is a really gorgeous powder, lasts a long time. It fits really easily into your purse, so it's great for touch-ups. I just love this. Now, if I could recommend you anything from the Charlotte Tilbury line, it would be her beauty wands. She has the contour wands, the highlighting wands, and she also has a couple that can be used as blushes as well. Now, the reason that I like these so much is because the formula is just so easy to work with. It just looks so beautiful and flawless on the skin. It blends out like a dream, and I've just always had amazing makeup days when I do use these, and I really like that they work on top or underneath powder. Now I'm going to use her contour wand today. This one is in the lightest shade, and this does have that annoying sponge tip packaging that a lot of Charlotte Tilbury products have. I still love it though. I still recommend this product. Even though the packaging can get a little bit messy, it's still beautiful in my opinion. You only need a tiny bit, just like that much. And then I like to blend it out with a synthetic brush. And you can see it just blends so easily. And the undertone of this one is perfect. It's just the most beautiful neutral undertone. It's not too cool, it's not too warm. This is a beautiful product to use on like no makeup days because it doesn't look too ashy as a contour or too orange as a bronzer, but you can also use it on glam makeup days like I am today. So yeah, I just absolutely love these. I think everyone needs them in their collection. I really hope she expands the shade range for these contour ones like she has with the Beauty Light ones, because I think there's only 2 shades. So yeah, that definitely needs some work, but regardless, I just absolutely love this product. I'm now going to use some of the Beauty Light wand in the shade Pillow Talk, which is another one of my favorite products. I really like the Spotlight shade as well. That one's a beautiful champagne. For this one, you can see it's got that pink tint to it, and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. It just looks nice and glossy, not glittery or chunky or anything. Just gives you that beautiful sheen that catches the light really nicely. And again, it's not like sticky or tacky, so your hair is not going to get caught in it, and it's not going to disturb, you know, any powder that you might have underneath it. It's a really beautiful formula, and they have great shades in this like highlighting formula as well. Now, if this was just an easy everyday makeup routine, I'd honestly be really happy with how my skin looks now. I'd probably just pop on some blush and head right out the door. But because I am doing something a little bit more glam today, I am just gonna set everything with powder products as well. So for bronzer, you guys know I've been loving this one. This is the Airbrush bronzer in the second shade. This is 2 medium. It's gorgeous, it's huge. You can see it compared to my head, it's just gigantic. But I'm just gonna pop on some of that with this Morphe R2 brush, which is a really nice brush that I've been really loving applying this bronzer with. And it just gives the most beautiful, smooth application. And I really like the color of it as well. It's really nice when I do have a bit more of a tan. Now, I was also recently sent one of Charlotte's blushes. This is the Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher in the shade First Love, which in the pan, it doesn't look like much, and honestly, it sort of looks like a bit of a nipple, but it actually translates a lot darker on the cheeks and gives you a really nice natural flush. So I'm just gonna apply that with my Smashbox Buildable Cheek brush and just pop that all on the cheeks, and you can see it does actually pack a punch. It doesn't look like much in the pan, but it definitely looks really nice and gorgeous and flattering on the skin. So after adding on those powder products, you might be able to notice, but my highlight isn't as bright and popping as it was before. So I'm just gonna add some of the Beauty Light Wand in the Spotlight shade. This is that gorgeous champagne shade I was talking about. And this one's just gonna look a lot more bright and blingy on the cheekbones and just really make them pop. So for brows, I was recently gifted one of her 3-way brow pencils in the shade Supermodel, which I've just swatched here, and you can see it's quite dark, and unfortunately this color doesn't work for me, so I will be re-gifting this probably to my mom. I know she'll love it, but yeah, unfortunately I can't give my review on this, so I am just going to use my normal regular brow products today. So for eyes, I really genuinely believe that Charlotte Tilbury has one of the best eyeshadow formulas out there. I have never found a dud Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow, and today I'm going to be using her Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette, which has the most beautiful peachy and pink tones. This was definitely an investment palette, but I get a ton of use out of it. I use it for every day, use it for going out. It's just a really nice, beautiful, versatile palette. The mattes work really well, the shimmers work really well, and it's just really great value for money when you compare them to her quads. So I have 2 of her quads here. I have the Pillow Talk, which is my absolute favorite holy grail eyeshadow quad, and I also have the Desert Haze here. But if I'm being honest, if I'm comparing these to the Instant Eye Palette, I definitely would say get the Instant Eye Palettes, because when you compare the price, these are just so expensive, and you get a lot more value for money in the Instant Eye Palettes, and you get more shades, you get more variety, you can do more looks with them. So while these are gorgeous, I would definitely recommend the Instant Eye Palettes over the quads. So I think I want to create something really nice and dark and smoky, and also really like summery as well. So I'm going to be using mainly these shades here to create a nice smoky look. But as far as I know, Charlotte Tilbury does not have an eyeshadow primer in her line. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that concealer just to cancel out any discoloration that I have on my eyelids before going right in with the eyeshadows. Now these shades don't have names, so I'm just going to sort of write them on the screen. So if you want to copy this tutorial, you absolutely can. So I'm just going to take the light matte cream color, which actually has a bit of pigment to it, and I'm just going to sweep that everywhere to sort of set the concealer in place and to create a nice transition shade. And I'm using a Sonia G Blender Pro to do that. Now using that same Sonia G brush, I'm going to pick up that terracotta shade and sweep it into the crease. and creating that sort of outer V shape. And hopefully you could see just how pigmented these shades are, but also how they're really easy to blend. Now using a Wayne Gloss number 18, I'm gonna take that medium matte brown from the Date trio and just focus that right at the outer corner, nestling it really deep into the crease. And I'm not gonna blend this one out as far as I have the other shades. Using a Sonia G Builder 3, I'm just going to dampen that with some setting spray before going in with that sort of dark berry shade from the Dream Trio. And I'm just going to pack that right over my lid, just where I've sort of left it blank. And hopefully you could see just how pigmented these shimmers are as well. I'm now just tapping a little bit of that same shade on with my finger, just so I can make it really nice and intense and sort of deepen it up a little bit. And I do get a little bit of fallout with these shimmer shades, but I'm not worrying too much because they are really easy to just sweep away. Using a Sonia G Mini Booster, I'm going to take that same first sort of light brown shade that I use at the beginning and just use it to smoke out my lower lash line and sort of meet it at the outer corner here, just making sure everything's really nice and diffused. Using a Morphe M213, I'm going to take that medium brown shade from the Date trio and just really stamp it into my lower lash line and really creating a lot of depth there. And for an inner corner highlight, I'm going to take that first shade in the palette, that really nice champagne color, and just tap that right in there. And I'm also going to use this on the brow bone as well. So for eyeliner, I actually don't own a liquid eyeliner from Charlotte Tilbury, so I'm just not going to use one today, but I am going to use this Pillow Talk pencil eyeliner just in my lower lash line, just to really intensify the depth there, and hopefully it will complement the colors really, really nicely because it is part of the Pillow Talk collection. So you can see the difference that made. I think the color is really nice. It's nice to do something that's not like a black or a brown. This has that sort of like maroon undertone, and I think it complements the look really, really well. If you saw my full face of luxury first impressions video, which I'll pop up in the cards, I tried this for the first time and I actually was not a fan of it at all. I tried doing like a winged liner with it and it just didn't want to work, but I am really liking using this in the lower waterline. I just think it's really, really beautiful. So for mascara, I actually don't own either of the Charlotte Tilbury mascaras, but I have tried both of them, and to be honest, I was not the biggest fan of either of them. They both smudged really, really badly on me. So I'm just gonna do mascara and lashes off camera and I'll be with you in a second. So I figured because I did the Pillow Talk eye look, I should probably pair it with the Pillow Talk lip because it is such a classic at this point. This is my itty bitty little Pillow Talk lip liner. This is well loved. The formula of Charlotte's lip liners are really, really great. They are really creamy, but they do not budge, so they last a really long time on the lips. And Pillow Talk is a really great Your Lips But Better color. And now I'm going to go in with the Pillow Talk lipstick. This is in her matte formula, which is one of my favorite matte lipstick formulas of all time because it's just really nice and silky and it doesn't dry out the lips either. And now I'm going to finish off with the Collagen Lip Bath in Pillow Talk as well. Now this is a product that was gifted to me, so I haven't had it for the longest time, but already I know that this formula is really, really nice. It's really like, I don't know, refreshing because it has that minty scent. And it just feels really lovely on the lips as well. Okay, so this is the final look. I'm super happy with how it turned out. This is sort of like the quintessential pillow talk look from Charlotte Tilbury, but I just love the way my face looks when I just use all Charlotte Tilbury products because everything just works so well together. So now I'm just gonna quickly tell you my top 5 favorite products from the brand, just the products that I recommend to absolutely everyone. I think they would work well for everyone, but I'm also going to tell you the products that you can probably skip as well. So if I have to recommend just one product from Charlotte Tilbury, it would 100% be the Beauty Light ones. These are just so beautiful and so versatile. I use them every single day without fail. They are always in my current makeup stash, my current makeup rotation. They're just so beautiful, and I think they're just so flattering on the skin because they don't look pretentious or obnoxious. There's a really beautiful lit from within glow, and the contour one's beautiful, so easy to blend. So yeah, these are a big hit in my book. And runner-up for my favorite product from the brand is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. The reason why I'm putting this second is because it's just so versatile. You can use this as a primer like I did today, but you can also use it mixed in with your foundation to give it more of a glow, and you can also use it as a liquid highlight. So it's super versatile. I get a ton of use out of this. They have great shades that could work for everyone. So yeah, this is just like a hero product from the brand for me. Third, I would have to recommend her eyeshadows, both in the bigger palettes and in the quads, if that's in your budget. I just think that these are gorgeous. They work so well. Pigmented, smooth, blendable. They're just everything that I want in an eyeshadow, and her color stories are always really nice and wearable. In her line, she doesn't have a ton of like crazy out there colors. Everything's just really nice and natural and easy to work with. So I really love them for that reason. Fourth thing I would recommend would absolutely be the bronzers. I've only had these for a couple of weeks, but I'm just like head over heels in love with them. I've used them every single day, basically every single day I think, since I've purchased them, and these are just so nice. They're blendable, they're smooth, they sort of blur the skin a little bit. They're just gorgeous. I do think she needs to expand the shade range soon because there's only 4 shades, but they're just really beautiful. So if there is a shade that you think would work for you, I definitely suggest picking it up. And last, I think I have to mention this because I just use this so often, but it's the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Of course, this is not for everyone. This is definitely for people who want a full coverage, more satin matte finish, but I just love this to death and I use it so often. My favorite way to use this is with the Flawless Filter. I think these are a match made in heaven. I wouldn't use this if I wasn't using the Flawless Filter as a primer or mixed into the foundation at the same time. These just work hand in hand for me and I could not live without them. That was so hard, but those were my top 5 favorite products that I would recommend from Charlotte Tilbury. I honestly could have gone on. I could have mentioned the color corrector, the powder, the lip products, but that is like my edited down version of like my top favorites from the brand. But now let's move on to the duds. So of course I haven't tried absolutely every product from the brand. I don't have that kind of budget, but yeah, these are some of the products which I like, but I don't love, and because they have such an expensive price tag, I would recommend other products over these in a heartbeat. And that is the eyeliners. I just think these are just too stiff to work as like a winged liner, so I can only use them in the waterline and on the top inner rim. And for that reason, I don't think they're worth the price because I have other eyeliners in my collection that I can use for a variety of different styles. This is just a little bit too difficult to work with for me. And I also have to mention the concealer simply because the packaging is so bad. If this was in like a normal like tube packaging with like a stick, like a wand to apply it, I would prefer it so much more. This is just like the worst packaging for a concealer, especially this formula because it is so thick. But yeah, if it was in different packaging, I would probably put this in my favorites, to be honest. And the last products that I want to mention are the mascaras. I mentioned earlier, I do not keep them on hand because they just straight up do not work for me. They are smudgy, they are almost waxy, they give me raccoon eyes within like 10 minutes of wearing them. That is not good, and I would recommend cheaper, more affordable mascaras any day over the Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so that about wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching if you're still here. I hope you found this informative and fun. I hope this sort of helped you work out what products to get from Charlotte Tilbury and what products you can probably skip on. I had such a fun time making this because Charlotte Tilbury is my #1 favorite makeup brand of all time. I just love her products and I love like her brand aesthetic. It's just right up my alley. And if you like this kind of content, please feel free to subscribe and like and comment on this video. It helps me out a lot. And if you also like this kind of content, definitely check me out on Instagram because I have done multiple full faces of Charlotte Tilbury on my Instagram stories and I have saved them to highlights. And also on my Instagram, I have a ton of great content that I post almost daily. I post about makeup and also skincare. So it's a really good time. It's a really fun community to be a part of. So definitely check me out there. But other than that, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe and I will see you guys really soon.